I think it's so important for students, Greg. I think it's so important for students to add a little bit of textual information here, kind of paraphrasing or kind of just summarizing your experience with the assignment so far. And this is no exception here because I've got some really, really good advice here based on your writing. So let's talk about the writing first. Not completed vectorized for exams attached is one I complete. I have completed, and we'll add the others as I complete that. Now, I just want to address the word complete. To me, this isn't completed, and I have a lot of suggestions, but it's a foundational start. But I think we have a long way to go. So I don't know if that word you have completed. I don't know if you're insinuating that this piece is done and ready to go, and I'll talk about that more in a second. But this has been a challenge. I've never done this before. Presumably, most of the students in the class have never done this before. Ergo, all of the tutorials. Now, listen, Greg, I'm not going to lie to you. This is a time-consuming process. It is. But it's a process that once you start getting it down, you're going to run with it. It's going to flow. I promise you. I'm telling you the truth. The front end work is it comes down to getting down in there and spending some time with the pen tool. And take a look at all of those technique videos that I had left in the course resources. And don't stop at one. Look at all of them, and look at the not the textual ones, but the ones with still images, like Marilyn and that old dude with the glasses and the beard. So look at all of those. Really spend some time. I guarantee you're going to bring in a lot if you spend a lot of time with those. Okay. Now, then we get to this comment here. Added details with my new graphics tablet. I just got it yesterday. I'm trying to figure it out. It made this much easier, and I'm excited to apply it to other portraits. Now, listen, graphics tablet, first of all, congratulations. Yes, all designers need a tablet, and they're wonderful. I mean, I've got a mouse in my hand. My pen is right here, which I keep my tablet. I use it every day, and it's when you think about it, trying to draw with a tablet stylus is a heck of a lot easier than trying to draw with a rock with a mouse, right? It's hilarious when you think about it. Like trying to draw with a mouse is like darn near impossible. So great to hear you got yourself a tablet. That's fantastic. Now the issue is this: is the tablet is going to take a minute to get used to. I do not recommend trying to acclimate yourself to the graphics tablet during this assignment. Okay, it's going to take you a good, and I don't want to sound discouraging, but for me, anyways, when I got my first tablet, it took me a good 2 weeks of working with it every day till I really got it down. Now, to be honest with you, a lot of times I use my stylus as my mouse when I'm working. So that's important stuff. But I would rather you use the techniques that you're accustomed to than trying to experiment with new techniques here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the work. Now, work is very, very underdeveloped. The reason being is because there's a lot of inconsistencies. So in styles, so what my recommendation is to go back and start using the pen tool and just go in and use the pen tool. Like you can see what kind of control. Let me show you an example. Go through the examples in the class. Look at as many video critiques as you can. There's going to be plenty of comments here that are pertinent to your work. But take a look at this. This is pen tool. Look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. That's all set up with the pen tool, and that's where we're after. We're after these kind of techniques, and as you can clearly see, I'm not trying to discourage you, but this is really, really underdeveloped. Okay, now where do we go from here? I think right now these are so prominent. This right here, it just looks like it's not a good establishment. It looks like you took this stylus and just kind of drew that instead of taking that, creating a shape with the pen tool, and then applying a color to it, okay? Creating the wrinkle lines with the pen tool, right? Just creating those lines, getting in there and creating that eye and that eye with the pen tool. And see, when it comes down to it, we talked a lot about using shapes in creating illustrations, but when it comes down to it, when you want complete control, you got to get down with that pen tool. And that's why the pen tool is so important, and that's why we typically start illustration classes, digital illustration classes, with the pen tool. Okay, so I'm not going to lie. I think we have a lot of work to do here. I really do. My recommendation is to get back in there and start looking at those videos. Really look at all of them. You'll learn fast, I promise you. This is a technique that you get good quickly. But let's revert to our technique of using the pen tool, and let's just skip the graphics tab for now. All right, just for now, because I don't want this to be an experimentation and learning new hardware. I want this to be an indication of learned techniques with illustrative, digital illustration. Does that make sense? All right. Again, Greg, I do not mean to sound discouraging at all. I don't at all. You want to start getting some of the textures in the hair, get some of the textures in the beard, which you started, but really wanted to pick those shadow and highlight areas in a very, very subtle way so we don't start looking a little zombie-esque. You see what I'm saying? All right. So again, please don't misunderstand my words for being discouraging. I'm trying to be as cultivating as I can. So, well, you know me by now. That's not my style. So, all right. So, anyways, let me know if you have any questions at all, please. Or if you need help, I can create some tutorials for you. Whatever you want, man. I just really want to get this to where we need to be. So, if anything I can do to help, just say the word and I'm right on it. All right, Greg? Thanks very much.